I am afraid not. So I would like to excuse myself that I can compete with the coffee break. Good evening, I am the Radar Curator Net project manager. Thank you. Let's speak about arithmetic theory, about those theorem relations which to start with simple things. Continue. What is relationships? To that routine question, there are three routine answers. Peering allow to keep traffic local to region. Also, they decreases latency, which is an effect of the first item. And the standard answer that peering allow to decrease costs for transit networks. The last argument is quite just argumentable. Who is interested in peering relationships? So there is a template answer autonomous system that have comparable sizes. What is the size of the autonomous system? It can be measured differently. At the expansion, there are more questions. Someone name channels, prefixes, someone connections. One can also does parrots as automatic systems just is a customer core system. As a matter of fact, it's not a feudal right. Vessels, the vessel of my vessel is my vessel. This is the customers, and this set of autonomous systems forms a real core of the customer's base with some providers. Well, when for autonomous system, it is advantageous to have peer-to-peer relations when this clientele core, custom core get just the best advantage from the peer-to-peer relation. It looks a bit different. We have already a set of peerings that forms this connectivity, and a new peering, it's a question how we will just add our relationships and whether it adds something. And the third question is already a particular character and the most important when it is advantageous for us to have peering. Evidently, with what we have started, peering can influence the decrease in costs because we get a new connectivity. That project, that peering that we were, the tier 2 suppliers, operators of the higher level, we start to pour through the free peering. But through that, also peering can lead to the decrease in profit. Why it happens? Well, we'll look into the models, into the examples. We have two providers. They have the crossings on the customer's course basis. And when this crossing is better with one provider than with another, evidently no provider will change this to the one. The only important parameter is to what extent it is deep. This autonomous system is deeply involved into this relation. If the depthness is different, then we have the situation when the operator start to overpulls from the core to the autonomous system. But when peering relations will move the system into the negative zone. And the short theoretical just excursion has ended. Now we'll speak about the practice. In the region, in Ukraine, in Russia, and in the CIS countries, there is a rather tight core of large communication operators which is stable in all these markets. This list is a system of autonomous system by customer scores. As it is seen in all markets, There is also Rostelecom, Transtelecom, MTS, big three, and and we'll see who does. Do we have parent relations? Is the situation by last summer? We're very suspicious. Looks strange. We have discussed that parents are needed, important, but not all parents are required. We have used data from our model representative of the Q radar, and we have just calculated this customer score. Then we have counted this the ratio that the parent will be. How, as one can analyze the situation is practically always not symmetrical. Just in some situation, parent is advantage to someone. In case of possible parent, for example, impetus, so this will simply lead to a negative zone. It says that the crossing of MTS by customs score is rather big, and it's a customer score has better connectivity. However, one can see that most parents appear not to be negative, at least. Over the last summer, we had one of the opinions, just only expecting a parent between just with the Telecom, as it is more advantageous for Rostelecom because it enabled to increase the coverage of Rostelecom. It is not the cold or warm from it, as we said, parent not only just precious firm, but just an opportunity to decrease the delays in channels. Then that improves the service qualities for customers. Now, the situation looks in the following vein, less suspiciously, but let's analyze the following question. And what will happen if some of the parents will disappear? Probably some of the current parents are a priori not advantageous for their participants or for one of the participants of these peer-to-peer relations. Use the same scheme, and we obtained the following picture. As it turned out, as it was expected, and the advantage from parent is not symmetrical, and moreover, focused on customer cores. It turned out the most disadvantageous of the company, the parent for TS companies. For parent for Rostelecom in Beeline moves it into the negative zone. Mainly, it turned out quite unexpected and interesting result. And now, well, usually by their representation, they say, thank you for the attention, and I would like to question to the audience, where I have cheated you. Are there any ideas? Then Alexander Sangin provided a correct answer. I've cheated you on the following. A very important customer score, not just customer, but that's multiplied by the volume of traffic. We need not only core, but the balance the volume of the traffic by which it is generated. Conclusions, it doesn't change the conclusions. Parent relationships are very easily measurable. And moreover, one should take into account that peer-to-peer relations is a good thing, but it can just bring the system into the negative zone. And it's desirable for a next and current relation peer-to-peer to be guided by economic profitability, because it depends upon us, but not on the actions of the regulator. I'm ready to answer your questions. Thanks a lot. One question from Alexander Alshansky. My simple question is, if you calculate all, that you have data from all providers around the world, just would you be able to aggregate the picture of all internet operators globally? I looked into the methodology. I have a very strong suspicion that this system we shouldn't get the outcome as a zero value because the crossings on customer scores will be of different values. This system, this should be the play with zero outcome or we are not aware of something serious. No, I didn't understand your question. Thank you for the question, first of all. If we regard this perfect, this ideal picture, of course, we will get zero value. If we just examine the current situation with the symmetric nature of appearance, that will be brought to the negative. Just ideally, we shouldn't get the outcome in the value of zero. Open with other planets system. Okay, I'll describe it. I think I need a flip chart, or at least a piece of paper and a pen. It's not very convenient. Maxim, I think you should approach to the microphone, and we'll do it in a different way. We won't. Chairs for the members of the panel. Someone else is ready to put a question. Put forward the question is the following. You two suppliers that discuss the issue of peer-to-peer. Minus from peer might be to that comedy. There's probability of the integration of the customer scores. If the customer score is connectivity is better than without it, that would it may get a negative value. The question is, but just the issue of that minus or that plus that will be worse, better or worse. If the connectivity is better, then yes, I just. Example, this is to have peer-to-peer relations with Rostov. It means that MTS is integration of core or just the next is have you yourself just evaluated the significance of it? 2-3%. It's within the margin of error. Where they have the significance at 20-30%, because it's indeed significant. Well, is there in essence to speak about, and when I have this set of peer-to-peer relation, and when it pulls us, just why do you have this garbage? But that's litter. This percentage of litter. Did you measure this litter? Well, this garbage does. There will be a lot of rubbish just from where this data were used. Is the data I sparse obtained from this rubbish that's on every step. Just let's refer to the following. The threshold with regards to DNS turns out that half of the squares to root servers just simply rubbish place. That's what is the what percentage point of the traffic can be regarded and as this rubbish? Just can just that you've been just involved in this examination. How's everything compared just to that rubbish that you will over the channel? If the traffic generated is of big volume, even if it is rubbish, still it is paid. And in the entire pipe, it's of no importance what traffic is, if it is paid. If it is not paid, then in this case, the only thing Alessandro mentioned that what this research lacks, that clear scaling, who generates more traffic. Not where is the evil more in this rubbish or in disbalance? I think more evil. One should not bring everything to the pile. Each program should be resolved separately. That peering might pull into negative. It's silly to have peer-to-peer relations with those where we do not get any profit from these relations. I think that we are working in the mode vis-a-vis. Are there any others to put questions on the presentation or no? Then if no, we would form our panel and probably would stay for that. Well, we'll do it now. Question. That's the very final question, and we'll close this discussion. My question is provocative character as well. You see, indeed, we should just balance not only with weights, generation of traffic with the core. We should also just weigh as the price of this bidding, the traffic, and by another 198 indicators which are not specified here. My question is, indeed, I just joined us in with the at the size of the zero something just percentage points of rubbish don't you think that this metrics is not very good? You should apply another. Thank you for the question. Let me answer. I'll try to describe what objective we have been pursuing while carrying out this survey. We assumed that we need to evaluate that, yet we do not just evaluate the cost of the channels, that autonomous systems have their own economy, and the question is how, not calculating the cost of laying the cables, how these changes that are not yet in place, there is not yet this contract in place, instead of thinking whether to be engaged in peer-to-peer relations, to sit and to calculate, and already to set aside what is not needed.